Welcome back to another episode of Time is Money Podcast. You already know I am your host, DJ Billionaire. Before we get started, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because without none of that, I wouldn't be able to continue bringing out and putting out these good videos for y'all. So, yeah, make sure you go ahead and do that. Oh, yeah, follow me on Instagram at TimeIsMoney216, I want to say. And follow me on TikTok. My new TikTok is Time is Money 216 or pod. I don't know. But the link will be in the description. So, but with all that being said, we got a special guest in the building. I feel like this episode conversation is well needed. Long overdue. We got Candace Thompson in the building. Matter of fact, just let the world know who we got in the building.
My name is Candace Thompson, and I'm the CEO and founder of YeahYouToo organization. And I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you for stopping by. Are you nervous?
I am nervous.
You fine. Ain't nothing to be nervous about.
Okay.
So, first thing first, who is Candace Thompson?
Candace Thompson is a work in progress, compassionate. Candace Thompson is beauty and pain wrapped in one.
Huh. Okay, so with that being said, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio.
Like what area, what neighborhood?
I grew up in the St. Clair, Eddie Road area, but I went to private school all my life.
You must knew I was about to ask what school you went to. What you about? You knew I was about to say Glenville or something?
Yes.
Dang, so when you say private school your whole life?
Catholic school.
What grade is, I'm guessing like what, middle school or elementary?
Entire.
What Catholic school you went to?
I went to St. Joseph Collinwood on St. Clair.
Dang.
I went to Lutheran East for about a year, and I was acting up. So I ended up going to Regina High School, all-girl high school.
Where that's at?
South Green Road, and it's not there anymore. I'm ancient.
Yeah, I remember a few girls I know went there. Wasn't they like known for like track or something like that?
In basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, LeBron James was at my prime. So the girl that was, that's how old I am.
But you must knew. I was about to say, I wanted to be like, what year was that? But I didn't even want to say it. Like,
yes, he was at my prom. He went to prom with one of my friends. She was a basketball star as well, and he stepped on my friend's foot. He's huge, and it almost ruined the whole night, but it was cool.
So this must have been before Savannah?
Yes. Yeah.
Then.
And they used to tease her because he was a sophomore while we were seniors.
They used to tease who, LeBron?
The girl for dating somebody who was a sophomore.
Because she was a senior?
She was a senior, but he was a rising basketball star, and I was like... And I think that get to her head a little bit.
You know what's crazy? Side note, it's crazy how it's like this double standard on it, because in high school, if a guy it's cool for a guy to talk to a younger grader. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when it comes to females, that's crazy, because guys be like, yeah, rooting, but it's like girls, they be like, why you talking to that young guy? Like they expect you to go get somebody 2 times your age or something.
Yes, it absolutely is. But it was cool. So when I'm showing my age, but yes, this was way before Savannah, and
Okay then. So with all that being said, how was it for you growing up? In like the Glenville area, was it rough for you, or how was it? Was it a breeze?
It wasn't rough. I mean, showing my age, it was a very different time, and it wasn't tough. It wasn't like I wasn't allowed to have friends in that area. I had friends in that area. The neighbors were consistent up until recently, so it was actually really a good, like, family type of street that I grew up on. The same, neighbors, their grandkids, my grandfather and grandmother who raised me. That's who I grew up with. And,
not to cut you off, do you got any siblings?
I do, but my sister is 17 years younger than me. And my brothers are...
It's a lot of guessing, but...
13.
I don't even know how old your sister is. Like, I thought you about to say 17, and you said 17 is younger than you, so I don't know if she older than me, younger. I honestly don't know, but go ahead.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
You're 31? Okay. So she is... I'll take the guesswork out. I am 42.
Okay. You don't look 42.
Thank you. And she is 25. And I have a brother who's 31 and another brother who is 28.
So I'm guessing you the oldest.
I am.
How was that growing up being the oldest? Like, was it a lot of pressure on you?
No, actually, I mean, I was the only child for 11 years, so I was pissed when my mom got married and had more children. I was like, what? They're taking my throne. Like, they're taking my place. And they ended up saving my life. They ended up really being what I needed.
What was life like boring just by yourself?
It wasn't. I was spoiled. I was the only child, but they became my babies because I was almost, especially with my sister, I raised her. So I became like their other mom.
So okay, so you said you grew up with your grandparents, right?
Yes.
Were they like strict, like you had to be home before the street lights come on, no boyfriend type stuff?
Yeah. So it was very complex. My mom wasn't out of the picture, but she was young when she had me. My grandparents took over, and my grandfather was a pastor, and church. A lot. So I'm a PK, and everybody, you know what they say about PKs.
Do you think that stereotype is real?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I only think it's true because you are part of a first family, and you are expected to be kind of a goody two shoes, and then you have inhibitions, and you have things you want to do and things you want to try, and but you don't want to do it in front of anybody because you don't want it to look bad. You be judged, and so then once you are old enough to go wild, you do, and I think it is some truth to that. But I don't think it's a case by case basis.
Do you got any daughters?
No, I have a son.
Oh, just one son? Okay.
Just one son.
Because I was gonna ask, like, how would you raise them versus how you was raised? You get what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
As far as protection and shelter.
Oh, same. The same, especially now. With my son, he just turned 7 the other day. Happy birthday, baby.
Happy belated birthday.
And he is reading he's in 1st grade, but he's reading on a 3rd grade level. He loves the library. He's writing. He did a PowerPoint the other day. Like, he's really doing big things. So
I'm sorry to cut you off. When you say writing, what type of writing?
So he's writing stories, and he writes down his emotions. I'm teaching him poetry. And so for YeahYouToo, my nonprofit, I'm opening a kids sector, and he wants to be over that. So
with y'all ever thought about like publishing his own like book or anything?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And one thing you may not know is in my 20s, I self-published 3 books. And
what's the name of those books? You can't just say you published 3 and don't say the name. You gotta plug us in.
They need to be reprinted. I had lost myself for a while, and I stopped writing. So I came out with a book called Bleeding, Volume 1, The Arrival, and Volume 2, The Back Burner. And then I came out with a small novella called Transference. So that was all fiction, but the first 2 were based on my life, and I used metaphors in there. So it's poetic.
Okay, you said they need to be rewritten or something?
Reprinted.
Wow, like what's wrong? They outdated or like?
Like, I just need more.
Oh, okay. You need to reprint some more books. Got you.
So they were on Coventry. at Max Backs. That's where they were. And I did a lot of spoken word during that time. I did a lot of stuff at B-side. And it was great. I had book signings and then I stopped.
Okay, let me ask you why you stopped.
I would say that I lost who I was and why I was doing it. So I was doing it to help other people, but then it became more vanity, more like, so you want to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And it just became a me thing, and I didn't like that because I came out with the books to help other people. I went through depression and anxiety a lot, and I felt like I was the only one in the world going through it. So when I came out with these books and came out with poetry, people were like, oh my God, I feel that way too. So, which is kind of the same basis as, YeahYouToo, the nonprofit. So.
Okay, because when you said you stopped, I honestly was about to ask, did it have anything to do with a guy or a relationship? Because
no.
Guys and relationships be the main reason for females falling off or just stop doing something.
Actually, no. Writing was my safe haven, actually. So it had nothing to do with a guy. No.
Okay, are you currently dating or do you have somebody or are you single? I
am single.
Hey, fellas. Sure, I just better into a question, but no.
It sure did.
Hey, no, for sure. But look, fellas, hey, there y'all go. I'll put the link in the description to her page. If y'all, it's on you. It's up to you. But no, all jokes. So, how you feel about dating in this world, in this time and era, especially with everything you got going on? Do you feel like it's not? I'm not gonna say meant, but do you have time to date, or are you just focused on your goals and what you got?
I'm focused on my goals and myself, but I am open to a relationship. But it has to be somebody that I can evolve with. It has to be somebody who shares my goals. It has to be somebody that I can partner with and grow with. It can't just be a fluke, just sex, just here and there. Like, I'm open to dating, but I am not right now. Currently.
Okay, with that being said, whoever you date, do they have to help contribute and like build on your business and your dreams?
No, they don't have to help me, but support me and emotionally, and support me, know what my vision is in order to, and they have their own vision. So as long as they're doing what they need to be doing to build and help others like I'm doing, then I can deal with that.
Okay, so but you said support. What do support look like to you?
Supporting me is understanding my vision, understanding what I do, understanding that my heart is for the community, and that they need to step up to the plate and be grown and actually be is this a dating show? Like,
no, you just telling your story, that's all. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Because it might be a guy out there that fit that role, or you just never know who looking. So, but ain't nothing wrong with it, because I look at what you're doing is words of affirmation.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? Speaking it into the universe, that's all.
I am.
So that's why I try to get a guest to do that, because you just, like I said, you never know who watching, who interested or anything, and it's just getting it off your chest as well. So
I am. Thank you.
Because I ain't no telling when the last time you may have, you feel me, spoke on those type of things or anything. So really, I don't know. Like I tell people, when you come in, you're gonna get some therapy, some coaching, and all that. So don't be surprised on what I ask you and things like that. But I would never ask
I'm not offended or anything like that. I thank you for that, because I'm like, now I'm thinking about it, But supporting me is knowing who I am, what I'm trying to do, and not being selfish to that, knowing that I'm trying to grow. And I want them to grow as well, and we grow together.
Oh, that's understandable. Okay, so you is the founder of YeahYouToo organization, right?
Yes.
Can you let the world know and explain to them what is YeahYouToo organization?
Yes. YeahYouToo, I got the name because it is inclusive, and it talks about, some people are saying, well, I can't be helped. Yeah, you too. I'm too old. Yeah, you too.
I like that.
You too. Yeah, I'm too young. I'm too broke. I'm too this. I'm too that. Yeah, you too. You can be helped. And in some ways, some of the workshops that I do is for me. And I be like, damn, it's for you too. Talking to myself sometimes. It is a community-based, resource-based, trauma-informed community resource center where I connect people to resources. And I am building partnerships as we speak. I just did a workshop for Pathways to Purpose, which is a group home for teen moms. And I did a workshop that I'm currently doing, again, called Generation Uncursed. And it talks about generational trauma. And so that's what I just did. And it was a success, and more people want it.
That's dope. How you get let me see. How you get into that? And what made you get into that?
Well, I work with children and teens with trauma. And I had a client who was with child, and I was visiting her, and I was like, where are the parents? How did they get in these? I know how she did, but a lot of them were there due to county reasons. So their parents, they couldn't be with their parents for one reason or another. And I talked to the owner, and I said, do you ever have anything family oriented for them? And she's like, we have a Christmas party, and that's about it. And I was like, how about we do something where it's a night of renewal. You have the teenage mom, her child, and her family member. And that way, when she looks around, there's 3 generations in the room. And that way, it's very plain on where you came from, where you're going, and where your child can end up. So.
Okay, so with that, because I seen on your gram y'all was in like a house or something.
That was the group home.
Okay, so who housed them? Like, is you in charge of the group home, or are you just in charge of bringing them there?
No, I am. I brought the workshop there.
Okay, so
Tanisha Teasley is the owner. Shout out to Tanisha.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to have to get her on the show next, too. Okay,
yes.
So how long you knew Tanisha? Like, how'd that come about?
It came about when I was going to visit one of my clients that I worked with, who was living there for a short period of time. And I was like, this would be a good, environment to do something. Get these girls engaged in who they are and where they came from. And they're filled with fear and doubt, and they're growing themselves, and they got a child, and some of them are pregnant, some of them have children already. But, it was like, I really want to talk to these girls because it's so imperative. And so Tanisha loved it. And we partnered up, and it was a success. So
how often do you do it? Is this like a once a month type of thing, or like?
I'm doing it actually, I just had a big meeting with Providence House, which is a crisis nursery. So whenever there's a problem in the home and county gets involved, the children have somewhere to go.
So wait, when you say, is that like calling like CPS or something?
In a way, yes.
Or
so
like anything that got to do with just...
Yes, anything that has to do with an interruption in the home.
So that can be like just a simple 911 call?
It could be a child being neglected. It could be domestic violence. It could be anything. And the child, that's when the law steps in, and Providence House is a safe space for them to go to. Because,
I just found out, I guess anybody can call, like, on you for, like, the child neglection or CPS, right? And they going to show up, like, even if it's a fake call, prank call, like.
They're going to show up.
Like, and then they also investigate, but I feel like that's kind of messed up because you got spiteful people out here.
Absolutely. It happens all the time.
That might not like their baby daddy or vice
they
versa.
do it all the time.
That's crazy because it's like you dragging somebody into something that ain't got nothing to do with.
Yes, but they do understand that there are spiteful people. So these are strictly like concrete evidence of a child being neglected, or, I deal with children who have been sexually abused, who may sexually abuse a sibling. I mean, I deal with it all. So I deal with a lot of kids who see trauma. And so Providence House is a really, really good place. It's like a very good home for them to go to while these things are happening, and they can learn. But Generation Uncursed, what I'm doing is for the parents.
Okay, so the YeahYouToo, that's for the young parents?
Generation Uncursed is for the parents. Yeah, the workshop. So YeahYouToo is the nonprofit. In the nonprofit, I bring workshops, education, workshops, and resources.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So one organization or program is for young mothers, right?
Yeah, Generation Uncursed.
Other one is for...
So it's for everybody. Okay. So YeahYouToo is for everybody. Remember, the YeahYouToo is for inclusivity. So what I do is, whether we have different sectors for veterans, we have different sectors for LGBTQ, HIV/AIDS, religion, you name it. That's what YeahYouToo is for. But we do different workshops. So Generation Uncursed is a workshop that I'm currently doing right now that I used for these young girls, and to do that.
Okay, so that must be what I seen on Instagram when they was like in the living room and stuff. Okay,
and
so
you saw some of the pregnant girls.
Yeah, okay, so walk me through that. What's a night like that? Like what do all they do that night? Because it looked like they watch movies, probably play games and stuff. So what is a night like that for y'all?
So what we did that night was I brought a presentation.
Okay. And
they were very engaged. Nobody was on their phone, falling asleep. I went back into cognitively what happens in trauma and what trauma is. I began to talk about what is trauma. This is Candace Thompson from YeahYouToo.org. Shout out to all the young ladies watching, all the teenage girls watching. If you have a teenager in your house, put them on the phone. You are enough. You will be enough. And don't let anybody else tell you that you are not. I have a workshop called Generation Uncursed. Check me out on Instagram, Candace Nicole Thompson, YeahYouToo. And let's get back to the episode. Trauma is a wound. That's where it comes from. Is the language it comes from wound. That's what trauma is. It's a wound. And it's still sore. And then it heals. It scars over. It's scar tissue. And if you think about scar tissue, it doesn't grow with the rest of the skin. It stays in this loop of just being stagnant. And I talk about what trauma is. Then I talk about how your brain goes into survival mode. And survival mode in the brain is when our bodies need to be, our mind is like, okay, we need to be safe and we need to think things through. When you go into survival mode, your body, it's like your brain stops thinking and it's surviving. That's it. So when you're in survival mode, you're on edge. You got anxiety. You got you're snapping at your kids. You're going off. You because it's survival. Your survival instincts kick in. And
no, I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you think that's the reason why a lot of people panic in situations and probably die?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay.
I do think that.
That's all I wanted to ask, though. You can go ahead. Because I, when you said, like, brain shut off, I'm like, dang, I just got to thinking of all the people that probably panicked in a situation that could have got themselves out of it, but they stopped thinking, and their brain just shut off.
And that's what happens in survival mode. That's why there's so many people in prison that snapped out and just stabbed somebody. You know what I'm saying? They just, they lost it. And then, so you're in that survival mode and you're snapping out at your kids and you feel bad about it later. But then we go into what is generational trauma. So as soon as they understand what trauma is, let's go back into generational trauma. What happened when we were actually, on a plantation and we were being watched 24/7. Nowadays, it's anxiety. We think we constantly on guard. We constantly thinking somebody after us. Somebody look at us 2 seconds. You got a problem? Something. What's wrong? Like we can't take that. It's turned into that.
Where do you think that come from?
It comes from it was once survival, and then it adapted in a different way. So it just stayed with us.
Like, no, I'm talking about like somebody could look at you and you be like, what you looking at, or why you staring at me? But it could be like, they could really be like, I like your outfit, but you know, us people like, what you staring at? Like,
right.
type of stuff. So that's why I asked, like, where you think that come from, like that type of trauma? Because
it comes from, everybody has their own different trauma, but like the example that I just gave you, we went from being watched constantly, then we adapted to, okay, somebody's watching me now. You know what I mean? Like, we keep thinking we're being watched. So what happened was, when we got off that plantation, trauma didn't stop. Those things didn't stop. So talking back or independence or anything like that meant dying at that time. So once you are in that, you're teaching your kids, hey, what happens in this house, stay in this house. You know, whatever happens, you know, that then it turned into, now kids were beaten for obedience, because it was like, we can die if you go out here acting a fool. We can, segregation, you're going into, you know, Jim Crow laws, you're going into those eras. And then it adapted into, now we're beating our kids because, you know, you embarrassing me.
Nah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? People, it's turning into,
nowadays they beat their kid when they upset at something in their life. Yes. Like a bill can pop up and they want to whoop their kid ass because they upset. Like,
yes, absolutely. And that's what I bring up, and then showing that repair is necessary. And I have them, you know, look at your child. Look at this new child. And it goes into something called epigenetics.
What's that?
Epigenetics is the study of how our genes actually change from trauma.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So there was a study done with mice. And what the scientists did was they gave a mouse something to scare them. It was a smell. To scare them, and they ran. And then later on they had, you know, other mice. They got pregnant and they had other mice, but they were removed from the mother. Those new mice who were not given that thing to scare them, who had never seen their mother run, were showing the same behaviors. And then after that, these are now the grandkids who are running, and they don't even know why.
You know, it's crazy. You just used that mouse scenario. I'm so glad you used that because they test us the same way they test the mouse.
Absolutely.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I done seen plenty of stories like that where they use that, and then all they do, okay, if it work on them, let's try it on the blacks.
Yes. Tuskegee experiment, remember?
I don't. I can't really
Tuskegee-
say. Only thing I know about Tuskegee is my cousin. Shout out to Taisha. She went there, but go ahead. You can explain this situation to me.
Yes. The Tuskegee experiment was back in the 40s, and what they did was they got, it was about 200 men, and I could be getting the numbers wrong, but they were poor sharecroppers, and they had syphilis. So they had half with syphilis, half without syphilis. And what they did is they didn't tell them they had syphilis. They told them they had a bad blood disease, and they told them, oh, okay, we just want to, they didn't tell them there was a cure. They didn't tell them anything. But what they wanted to do, they wanted to see the effects of untreated syphilis. And they used us. This is why you hear black people saying, I don't want to go to the doctor, or black men like, I don't go to the doctor. I don't mess with that. But so what happened was these men they were dying. They passed it to their wives. They had children with syphilis, and they blocked them when, I would say in the 50s, when antibiotics came out. They blocked them from getting treatment. They blocked them from everything. They blocked them from getting treatment because they wanted to see what happens if we don't treat this, and they used us.
Do you know what happened to the people that went untreated or uncured? Like
they died.
Oh, okay.
They died. They went blind. They went crazy. Their wives ended up getting it, and they had 19 children were born with it.
Do you think they did the same thing for AIDS too?
I do.
Me too. Because you know what's crazy? I was just having a conversation with my mom, and like back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, only like STD you really had to fear was like HIV and AIDS back in the day. Like it seemed like that was the main two, probably syphilis, but like now it's so many new ones, and it's like where the fuck these come from? Like like now the generation of this era is like they fear is herpes. Like they don't even fear getting AIDS or HIV. They don't even think people got that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like they like, shit, that died when the last people from Shaw High School type shit. I'm sorry, Shaw, for catching you all caught it straight, but it's the truth. People think that I'm telling the truth. But people, they think like that time then died, so now like the only fear is herpes. But like I be wondering like where this come from, because that wasn't a thing back in the day.
And they're only afraid of herpes because it's a vanity thing. So it's like, oh, I just don't want somebody to know something's on my lip, and it's a whole. We don't even. This need to be a series
for sure. I'm gonna say this and move on. I feel like they came out with that. It's also like. It's a way to control you, because at the end of the day they say, oh, it ain't no cure for it, or it ain't this and it ain't that. Like, so it's like,
but yet there's people getting cured,
right? And then they say half of the world got it if you had shingles or chicken pox. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I honestly don't know when it comes to that, but I just feel like it's more of a population control type of thing, to be honest, because people not really dying from it like how HIV and AIDS is. So it's like you can still live with it and still live a normal life, but they gonna make sure them big pharmaceutical companies gonna make sure they still get their money.
They're gonna get their money because they know people will pay to live. People will pay to live, and now every commercial is go undetected with HIV.
And then it'd be the side effects, like
it'd
be like,
that'll kill you before.
Yeah, it's like, do you even want to take this medicine? So let me ask you this, and then we gonna get back into the organization. How you feel about like pills, medicine versus like the natural holistic? Are you into that? like holistic type of healing?
Yeah, I'm into holistic, but I feel like there's no way, as much money as Big Pharma brings in, there's no way they're ever going to be like, hey, take some echinacea. My friend had COVID, and I took her, she was like dog sick. I took her 8 pills of echinacea and some Ensure. In 2 days, she was perfect.
Yeah, I'm a huge firm believer of like holistic things like and herbs and stuff because that's what they cured themselves with back in the day. If you ask me, before pharmacies and Walgreens, CVS, and all that other stuff was around and shit.
We were poor. We couldn't afford the doctor.
Yeah, we would go. Well, our ancestors would go in the woods and find things that came out the grass, the earth, the leaves, the trees, wherever, plants, dandelion roots, all of that. Mm-hmm. But that was a good little segment. But let's switch it up. Let's get back into the YeahYou organization because I don't know that picture I seen with them girls and they was in that house, like that did something because I'm like, you be surprised how many people going through something and don't know it, or you don't know it and people overlook their situation, and it might have been women in your workshop that might have wanted to commit suicide. Might not even wanted to have the baby or keep the baby. So with that being said, what's the youngest person you dealt with in your workshop?
14.
Wow. How that made you feel knowing you have a 14-year-old and you like pretty much they only and you like they only resource, the only person that's trying to help them.
Yeah. And it's tough because you want to keep it professional, but it's like sometimes you just, this one particular, before she found out she was pregnant, she ran away from home, but it was because her mom didn't want her. So she was looking for love, as a lot of women are, a lot of girls are, especially, and going to look for love. And I wanted to so bad to just be like, I don't know where you're sleeping. I don't know. She's doing whatever to eat. I wanted to, let her come to my house and just be safe. But, there's you have to have boundaries. And that's like the hardest part of having, a big heart and trying to help them. But the only thing I did, the girl, she still walked to school from wherever she was and washed up at school and did her testing. Like, that's resilience. Like,
sure.
Especially and
at
I
14.
met her there. Yes. And the fact that she still was pushing, I remind her of that now. Like, look at what you did. You can't give up.
She's still 14 like now, or this?
She's 15 now.
Okay. Yeah, that I can't even imagine being that age and have to shower in school and probably brush her teeth there, get ready, that's crazy. Damn, that just threw me off because as far as mental, okay, so was she pregnant or did she have a kid or anything, or she
had the baby. She
at
had
14?
15.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot. And then you have to look at, nobody's ever really ready to be a parent, but when you're still developing, it's insane, because then it's like you're trying to grow up yourself. You got till 21 till your brain is fully developed. You have all this time, and now you're responsible for a whole nother, child, human being, and you don't know what to do. And then you're in a toxic environment, and a lot of it it felt like a dead end. And that's why, because I'm currently in school and I was going to go for social work, and I'm like, well, that's what I do now. And I just felt like the system is so screwed. And so I changed it to public administration where I can make programs so that I can make these different programs so that the social worker can do their job better and have, better outcomes and at least some loopholes in this really shitty system that we have.
Yeah, you ain't lying because the system is shitty. Okay, so with all the trauma the girls go through, what do YeahYouToo, like, what do y'all offer them, or what can y'all offer those girls?
So we offer emotion regulation. Self-esteem is probably the biggest one.
Yep, and confidence.
Confidence for them because they've allowed someone to tell them and who's responsible for making them have a good day or a bad day or like themselves or not like themselves. And it is so just a phone call or a text message. I've seen them be so happy and then they get a phone call or a text message from a guy and then they just, and it's unbelievable, the control. And then the other thing is I found it not funny, but it's interesting how they don't want to do therapy, but you get on Instagram or you get on social media and talk about your life.
Yep,
and
let's
talk about it. And it's like, oh, I don't need no nigga. I got mine. I'm okay. I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, none of these people care.
And that's what I tell people. Like, people be like, oh, why you don't tell me what you're going through? And I'll be like, for what? Just so you can be in my business?
Right.
And they be like, oh, no, I can help out. I'll be like, okay, I'm behind $500 on the light bill. Can you help me?
And
now it's
quiet.
You feel me? So now I be like, see, now there's no point in me telling you. Like, so I feel you when people get on live and they explain, because all people want to do, they want to see you down bad. Yeah. They want to see you complain. They want to see you doing way worse than them. They not there to help you. They can't even help you.
No. So we do like the workshops. We do the parent rejuvenation and that's for all parents, males, teens. It doesn't matter if you're a parent and need help. That's what it's for, and that's starting on March the 7th. And but a lot of emotional building skills. The house that they're in, they do life skills, and they take turns cooking and cleaning, and they learning things like that. But on the flip side, it's teaching them that everything has a consequence.
Yeah, that's facts.
Everything has a consequence, and now it's not just you anymore.
And also, every action has a reaction.
A reaction, absolutely. And if you're not thinking clearly, my grandfather told me, he said, if you're not in control, something else is.
Yep.
And when you're not in control, you can do anything can happen.
Okay, so you parent rejuvenation. What day you said that is again?
March 7th. Okay. It's virtual. Mm-hmm.
And how can they tap into that? Is that like Zoom?
It's gonna be on Zoom, and there's a QR code on my Instagram, and I will have a table also on February 7th.
Is that the Full of Love?
Full of Love is Valentine's Day.
Okay. Oh, so you got more. Hold on, you got like 3 events. You ain't telling me about the other one. I just knew about Full of Love. Okay, then continue. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, February 7th, I'll have a table at Cafe Indigo in Shaker Square.
Okay.
And you can sign up there. I'll have it's more of an informational table up there. And so, yeah, I'm just back to back to back. I've been trying to.
That's what's up. I'm proud of you. And if
you.
anybody interested, the link will be in the description if you want to join the parent rejuvenation workshop March 7th, right?
Yes.
Okay, got to make sure I have
and
that.
And it'll be weekly.
Oh, okay. So after March 7th, this will be a weekly thing?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
okay,
it's weekly.
Thanks. Okay, so.
And it's free.
I'm glad you threw that in there because a lot of people, if they don't hear a price or they just think they got to pay for something, but people love free shit.
Yes.
So
yes,
I'm glad you had plugged that in there because
Yes.
so people don't get it and be like, oh, I got to pay. And it's like, no, you don't have to pay.
You don't
no
have
excuses.
To pay. No excuses. It is free.
How did you come up with the parent rejuvenation? Like, what's your goal with that?
Well, I came up with that working with children and teens. And you go through all this work teaching the kids, and they got it, and then they go home, and then their parents say, shut the fuck up. You this and that. They go toxic. Because if you're not treating the whole family, it's not balanced.
Yeah.
And so I came up with that at my current job and the parent engagement program, because I was like, this is not going to hold up because we're not treating the parent.
Like, you feel like you're not getting down to the root of the problem.
To the root of the problem. And that way, with parent rejuvenation, they can actually reset, be in a non-judge-free, judge-free zone, and they can be themselves and actually get the tools that they need for whatever that's going on with them as a parent, whatever barriers they're coming across that, that can.
Okay, so do y'all help people find jobs? Like, can y'all help them find jobs, like parents or the...
Yes, YeahYouToo. YeahYouToo helps people find jobs, even if you got a felony. I got a whole list of jobs that hire, even if you have a felony. So, yes, we do help people find jobs.
No excuses.
No excuses.
Like, oh, man, like, that's crazy because people would be like, oh, I can't find a job because I got it. No.
It may not be a job you want.
Say that again for them.
It may not be a job you want, but there's a lot of people that hire people with felonies. And you can tell them what happened, and they will work with you. I've seen it happen.
Is all your organizations, are they all nonprofit?
It's nonprofit, yes. But I do motivational speaking on the side, and I am starting to, probably next year, I'm bringing in the for-profit side. So, and that'll be under Pinnacle of Success.
Oh, okay, so can you explain to me and explain to people the difference between a nonprofit and a profit organization? Because I honestly don't know the difference. I just know, I think I know nonprofit.
It's exactly what it
is. Yeah, it's what it sounds like, but
it's nonprofit, but we get our funding through grants.
That's where I was going. Okay.
Yeah.
We
get our funding through grants and donations. The other thing is, hey, I have this shirt for sale. Do you want to buy it? That's for profit. So it's more so like I said, the parent engagement is free, but we would get our funding on the back end so that we can have the supplies for you to be.
So you can do, so the event is free, but you accept donations?
Yes, I do.
So that's how it worked, though?
Donations and grants, yes.
Okay, have you received any grants so far?
Yes.
And how did that work? Like, what's the process?
Grant writing. So grant writing, I do some grant writing. There's a lot of grant writers out there. And depending on what you want to do, like I turned Generation Uncursed into a grant. So I do this workshop, Generation Uncursed, but if there's some organizations who want to do it, they can buy it from YeahYouToo, and I can train them on how to do it, and they do it themselves.
Okay, so how can someone like me get a grant? Like, someone just fresh start, and like, what's the steps? Can you walk me through what I need to do, what I need to have?
Yes. So first you have to have a 501c3. So you have to be, in the eyes of the law, you have to be a nonprofit.
That's like churches. Do churches fall under that?
Yes, churches fall under that too. Yes.
They be finessing.
That's a whole nother podcast.
It sure is. I'm on y'all ass, but I'm hip to them 501c when it come to churches.
Yes.
But proceed.
Yes, that's a nonprofit. And so you have a program. So say, for instance, my Generation Uncursed, I look up like mental health organizations, SAMHSA. There's different people who give money for these things. United Way. You have to really look and see who's giving the money. So that's part of the job. And then you will write down your program, what it will cost, and line by line, you would actually write down, hey, I'm going to have 10 kids. Say I'm going to have 10 kids at this workshop. I'm going to need folders. I'm going to need, whatever it is that you need, you would put that in there. And you actually combine that into your mission, what you're trying to do, how much money you need, and how you make that a item. You itemize it.
Okay, let me ask you, with that grant money, do you got to spend it all? Like when they give it to you?
You don't have to spend it all, but they will find out if you're spending it on clothes and whatever.
Unnecessary stuff. Do you get taxed on that money?
No.
So no taxes on any grants?
Right.
Damn, that's smooth. Dang. So no taxes, okay. Dang, that's pretty much really free money.
Yeah.
So why you think our minority people, why you think we don't attack that or we don't go after that?
I think a lot of things our people don't go after is because we don't know about it.
And they say don't know, you don't know.
You don't know.
Wow. Okay, with grant, what's the most you ever seen someone get or you got? Like, it don't have to be the exact number, but
you can get millions in grants.
It go all the way up to millions?
Yeah.
I thought they'd give out like little thousands and...
You can go from like $500 to $5 million, depending on what you're building. Yeah. Wow. Depending on what you're building.
Okay, so with that, how long do it take for someone to get a grant? Is it like you fill out the applications like a day thing, week thing, months? Like
no, it's so you have to know your competition. There's other people putting in for that same money.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so is it a thing like where you get denied? Can you reapply?
You can get denied, and they give you the reasons, and then so there's different seasons. Like say it's a certain quarter, they may have on there, hey, in November we're giving out this grant for, feeding the hungry, let's just say. And you have to have it in by that date to be, looked at for it. And then if they choose you, then you get it. Sometimes more than one person can get it.
That's interesting. I know you said something about donations, but how do you accept donations? Like how do that work?
Donations can be, it could be like, say, for instance, when I do the Full of Love, when I feed the hungry, we can have a QR code for a Cash App or cash donations, and we give that to, the people maybe that couldn't make it, or we can give that to some schools for kids that don't have hats or, things like that. So that's how I kind of...
Okay, so we are in February, and you said, for one more time, can you let them know Full of Love, what day that's on?
Full of Love is on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
And where will it be?
It's going to be at St. Elizabeth Baptist Church.
You got the address?
On Francis Road.
Oh, that's over off Superior, right?
Off of 55th. This is Candace Thompson, CEO, founder of YeahYouToo.org. I am doing a workshop, Generation Uncursed 2026. Check me out. You can call me at 216-403-3094, or you can check me out on Instagram, Candace Nicole Thompson, YeahYouToo. Have a good day.
Okay, so Full of Love, that's February 14th, Valentine's Day.
2 to 4.
2 to 4. And what all that consists of? Are you feeding people?
Yes, we are feeding the hungry, chicken, spaghetti, salad, and roll.
And anybody welcome?
Yes.
Is there like a limit? Are you doing it like after a cap, like after 100 people is over, or is
yeah.
Okay,
Till we run out.
Gotcha. I'm just making sure.
Till we run out. No, don't come in there with a meat coat on and some J's talking about I'm starving.
Hey, wait, why they can't be starving with a meat coat and J's on?
If you cash that in,
you said you should have ate that damn coat. So, what got you into doing that? Because that's very caring for people.
Yes.
So what made you want to, on Valentine's Day, a day that you can be out on a date doing other things, you giving back? What made you want to do that in your heart?
Because I've been lonely before. I've been on the other side, and I've been on that side where you feel like nobody cares. So I felt like Valentine's Day is, you know, you see all these couples out. It's supposed to be a day of love. It's commercialized, but it still is. Somebody needs somebody that day.
Absolutely. So. You know, it's crazy. I hate how I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to make this a guys and girls thing, but I just hate how Valentine's Day is like the commercials be. Get your mom a house, a diamond ring, a Mercedes Benz. Then Father's Day and stuff come around and they be like, they just show.
Get them a hammer.
Yeah, hammer, pair of socks, drawers, and that's it. Like, they barely even show commercial. The only thing they show is the Lowe's commercial.
Right, that's it.
That's it.
That's
like,
it.
That's crazy, man. The dads,
I agree.
I'm not a dad, but y'all need to show the dads more love, man, for sure.
I agree. We're definitely going to do something for dads. What's up? I'm Candace Thompson, CEO and founder of YeahYouToo.org. Check me out. On Valentine's Day, I will be feeding the hungry from 2 to 4 at Elizabeth Baptist Church on Francis Road, and that is by 55th. Check us out on Valentine's Day, and let's get back to the episode.
I got a few more questions before we get out of here. A game. I see you created a game on your page. Can you explain to that? Because I know when I talked to you, you said it's a game and you're eventually about to turn it into an app so people can download it on their phones and devices. Yes. So let the world know about that game you got.
The game is called My Mama's Trauma, which will later be a book that I'm writing. And it is it's a scenario-based game. And it starts off with a great-grandmother in the Jim Crow era. Then it goes to the grandmother in segregation, Martin Luther King era. Then it goes into the war on drugs, 80s and 90s, and then present day. So you have all these scenarios, and right now it is women-based because I started it off as just a game I made up for the workshop, Generation Uncursed. But then it started getting bigger. And I want to do my father's trauma for the men as well. And what you do is showing that epigenetics, where I showed you how stress and trauma passes down to you before you even start living your life. So the decisions that you make, you see how much stress is being passed down from generation to generation. And that's how it really happens in real life.
Okay, so how do they play the game?
So I have a QR code on my page, and it's through the Lovable app. And you get on there, and it starts off in the Jim Crow era. And you answer a question. So it'll say, back then you needed to be in the colored section. You're in the right section, but a white man comes and tells you need to get up. What are you going to do?
So is it kind of like, is it multiple choice? Like
you
the
have
answers?
You have 3 different choices. Yep.
So would you consider this game like,
kind of like choices?
Yeah, choice. And then is it kind of almost like a form of a test?
In a way. It's educational.
Okay.
Because, now people are like, what's Jim Crow?
Yeah,
Who was Martin Luther King?
Yeah. Who was Rosa Parks?
Yeah, right. The younger people are like, what? So it's educational as well.
Huh. And is it a 1-player game, 2-player? Like,
it's a 1-player game for now, but it will be a 2-player game, and you'll be able to go to different levels. So I'm working on that with the team.
So is the app already out, or you got a release date?
The app is out. You can play it now, but as far as it being in the phones, the app store, that'll be end of the year.
Okay. When it come to like building an app, I'm guessing you got like a developer, or like how that work? Like how you create a game and an app from scratch?
I created it through the Lovable app.
I have no idea what the Lovable app is.
Okay, Lovable. Claude is another one. Claude AI.
Okay, I was about to say, is these AI powered type things?
They're AI powered. Okay. Another good one is a base 44.
Yeah. The commercials. Damn, I thought that shit was fake.
No, it's real. It's real. And base 44, I actually made a feelings friend for the kids. For YeahYouToo kids. So I'll have YeahYouToo, YeahYouToo kids, and YeahYouToo teens. And I made a feelings friend for the kids on base 44. And it actually is real.
How long do something like that work? Like how, because, okay, you got to take it from my perspective, someone that don't know nothing about gaming, code, and developing. So how long do something like that take? Like,
it took me about a month to really get my mama's trauma to where I wanted it. But then when it got to coding, that's when I got me a team, and I was like, okay, I did like a NDA, and then so nobody will steal it.
No, for sure. Work smarter, then, not harder.
Yeah. And then that's when I got a team who knows how to take that coding and put it, as a phone game. Okay,
and one more time, you said when you think it should be on like platforms and markets?
November or December.
Okay, so we looking at pretty about the end of the year, beginning of 2027.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before we get out of here, do you have any questions or anything that you want to answer that you feel like I didn't ask you? Or you want the people to know that I may not have asked?
No. This is my first podcast, so I thank y'all for tuning in. And I would say, just from where I came from, maybe you missed how I came up with YeahYouToo. Depression, anxiety, addiction, no matter where you are, you still here, so you can still fight. And you can still change your life, and you can change somebody else's. So just know that it's possible.
That's crazy, because I was about to ask you to take us out with some words of encouragement, but you beat me to it. For sure you did. Okay, so last thing, let the people know where they can find you and where they can follow you at and all your platforms and all the good stuff you got going on in this world.
Thanks to you, I have an Instagram.
I don't even know if I should take credit for that.
Yes, to be honest. Have an Instagram. I was so... I'm on LinkedIn, and he was like, no, you have to get an Instagram. And I was so against it, but it's cool, and it's visibility, and it's helping me so much. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But Instagram, Candace Nicole Thompson, YeahYouToo. That is my Instagram. So check me out, and check out the Parent Rejuvenation coming up. And if you are watching this and you need a meal and you need a hug, come out to Full of Love on Valentine's Day.
There you have it. Candace Thompson. I am DJ Billionaire. Time is money. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. And just like that, we out.
Time is money. And I ain't got time to waste. I ain't trying to be funny.
Yeah, time is money, my baby.
So let me be on my way. Yeah. It ain't about money.